Hi everybody, welcome to Best of British Blackwell. Happy New Year to you, hope you had a wonderful Christmas. We are kicking off the new year with a slightly different kind of recipe for you today. It's traditionally English, but I'm also mixing it up with some French flavours as well. British food has got to be about the way it's adapted to incorporate other cultures and cuisines and nationalities. So what we're going to make today is a lovely mustard style chicken in a mustard sauce with some Dauphinoise potatoes. So come over, have a look at the ingredients and we will get started. Nice simple ingredients today. What have we got for you? We have got a couple of leeks. We're going to be using this in both the Dauphinoise potatoes and the chicken. We've got some potatoes obviously, which we're going to put through the mandolin and make some lovely thin slices. We've got some broccoli, which we're going to use as our accompanying veg. We've got some lovely bone-in chicken supremes or bone-in chicken breasts here. We've got some lovely smoked bacon. We've got some cheese. We've got some whole grain mustard. We've got this absolutely wonderful Trackelman's spiced honey mustard. Really would recommend giving that a go. I'll put some details to these guys' website on the bottom of this video. Do check them out, it's wonderful. And we've got some single cream and some Parmesan cheese. Just in case you're wondering, the cheese that we're using here today is going to be some basic cheddar. You can pretty much use anything that you like. Let's make a start. Let's get the chicken on the go. Okay, so we're going to start the recipe off with our chicken breast, and what we're looking to do here is draw the moisture out of the top of these chicken breasts. They're skin-on chicken breasts. You can use skinned chicken breasts if you like. You can use thighs for this recipe. You can use legs. You can use any part of the chicken that you want. You could use a whole chicken if you wanted to. I like the breast meat, but I also like the fact that there's a bone in there as well, which keeps the meat nice and moist. What we're going to do is we're going to pat the outer side of this chicken down for any excess moisture, because we want this skin to crisp up. We're going to give it a nice coat of some black pepper, and then we're going to take this lovely Trackelman's spiced honey mustard. We're going to get decent, I would say about 3/4 teaspoon on each chicken breast here. You can see that this mustard has got the whole grain mustard inside it as well, so it's going to impart some really lovely flavour on here. Absolutely superb. A little bit more on that one there. And then what we're going to do is, just using our hands, let me stick this to one side, just using our hands, we're going to rub that mustard onto the flesh of the chicken, just on one side for now, so skin side down for now. So start to coat that in to this chicken breast. Next step is going to be to get these into the frying pan. I'm going to show you that now. So we've had some oil warming up here for a little while. We take our mustard covered chicken breasts and place them skin side down straight into that pan. As you can hear, we're not bubbling away immediately. This pan is not too hot. It's warm to medium, but it's not going to burn this chicken. What we want to do is we want to let that mustard warm through, and then we want this pan to build up to a decent heat so that we get some nice colour onto that chicken. Sorry, I did just forget to add to this at this stage that you get your seasoning onto the bottom half of these chicken breasts. So at this stage, while they're frying away, get a decent amount of salt on there and a decent amount of pepper. Okay, so while the chicken is frying away in the pan, skin side down, we're going to get the bottom half of this roasting tray ready for the rest of the chicken. So we take one of the leeks, slice it into pieces. Doesn't have to be too pretty or too neat. What we want to do is get a decent kind of layer for this chicken to sit on. So once you've chopped it up as roughly as you like, break it down into pieces so it's got a nice decent layer to sit on. Give me a second while I sort this out. Just make sure that everything goes in there. Then we can see that all this does is it just prevents the chicken from sitting straight onto the bottom of this roasting dish, and that's going to really help to let the chicken cook first and foremost, stop the bottom of the chicken from cooking too fast and drying out, and also just to make sure that the flavours that we're going to put in here are just going to make sure that they impart evenly across the dish. Another thing that we're going to do, and I apologise in advance, this is one of the ingredients that I didn't actually show at the beginning of the video. We're going to take some garlic and we're going to crush this into this roasting dish here. I will give them a bit of a stir up and a move around in a minute. In total, 2.5/3 decent cloves of garlic. Get those in there. That's done. Just to make sure that everything's infused. Get a tiny little drizzle of oil like that. And this is where we get our hands dirty and just make sure that the garlic and the leek and the oil is all infused in there and all spread out nice and evenly. Okay, very near to getting this chicken in the oven now. As you can see, we've fried those chicken breasts off with that lovely sweet and spiced mustard on top. What we're going to do now is take a brush, and this is standard English mustard, which we're going to get over the top of these chicken breasts here. I don't know about you guys, but I absolutely love hot English mustard. Straight over the top, give it a lovely bit of colour. Make sure that there's plenty on each side. Get that over there. And we're also going to take some of our lovely whole grain mustard as well. It's very simple with the whole grain mustard. Just a nice spoonful over the top of the chicken. As you can see here, it doesn't need to be too fancy, doesn't need to be too pretty. You know, I mean, personally, I think this looks great, but we're not talking about Michelin star food here, we're talking about Michelin star flavour, as you can see. Lovely. So you've got 3 different types of mustard in there. You've got the spiced honey flavoured mustards from Trackelman's, we've got some lovely standard English mustard, and we've got some lovely standard whole grain mustard. Finally, sitting on a lovely bed of garlic and leek, what you do is take some single cream straight over the top. Now, finally, what do we do with this? Cover it over with some cling film, some tin foil. Stick it in the oven for about 25 minutes on about 160. Then we're going to be ready to cook. What we're going to move on to next, now this is prepared, you can cover this over, leave it to one side, we're going to get our Dauphinoise potatoes ready. Now we've done the chicken, let's get going on these potatoes. All I've got here is a nice bowl of clean fresh water. I've got my very basic shop bought mandolin here, which I place straight over the top of the bowl. Everyone will have a go at me here because I'm not getting my fingers out of the way. But to start the process off, I just slide a couple of these potatoes across the mandolin. Now I get my finger guard here and just start going with it. And all I'm doing here is just throwing them across the top of the bowl. It's a little bit noisy, I know I'm not really doing this the right way, but as long as my fingers are out of the way and I'm not getting them chopped off, I'm actually quite happy just to go at this pace. You'll have lots of different top chefs tell you that you need to use this kit and that kit, and you need to do it this way and that way. Actually, as long as I get those lovely thin potato slices, which I'll show you here, just dropping into that water, there you can see, you know, I'll go at my own pace. The reason that we're putting them into this water is that obviously we don't want the starch in there, so we're rinsing them from starch. I'm going to continue with slicing these potatoes. Once they're all done, I'll show you what I do next. There we go. All of the potatoes have been sliced up. They're all now exactly the same size. What I'm going to do with this is take it over to the sink, let the cold water run through it, and I will rinse off all of the starch from these potatoes. So now we've got the potatoes rinsing away there to get the starch off of them. What we're going to do is we're going to take this bacon. Now I'm using smoked bacon. This is rindless smoked bacon, which I've already bought. You can use streaky, you can use unsmoked if you want, not a problem at all. What we're going to do is we're going to take this down, start to cut it into pieces, because we're going to sprinkle this throughout the Dauphinoise. Now you don't have to use bacon if you don't want to. I just think it adds a lovely bit of flavour to the Dauphinoise potatoes. I actually think it makes it a tad more British. Dauphinoise potatoes are obviously French, but I just think it livens it up in terms of flavour. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this bacon now, I'm going to fry it away. As the bacon's frying away, bit of Worcester sauce in there just to add to the seasoning. Lovely couple of gloves. I'm not going to do any harm whatsoever. Now what you're looking to do with this here is not to get it golden brown, you're just looking to cook that bacon through. Just get it cooked. Doesn't need to be burnt, doesn't need to be golden, just cooked through. While the bacon's cooking away, take the leek. We're going to chop it slightly differently to the way we chopped it for the chicken. Cut it straight down the middle here, like this. Get it into the two halves. Now start to slice it into some nice thin pieces. Okay, so now it's time to construct our Dauphinoise potatoes, and what we're going to do is we're going to take a nice deep Pyrex dish here. We're going to get some kitchen roll, dip it into our butter, and butter the bottom and sides of this dish. This will add to the flavour no end, and it will also make sure that all of our lovely insides of the dish do not stick to the pan or burn. What you want to do is we've got our lovely potato slices here as well. Start the process off, start taking these potato slices and place them around the bottom of the dish in a lovely layer, just making sure that the layers are separated. Then what we're going to do is take a handful of leeks, spread those in there as well if they haven't chopped up properly. Give them a bit of a separate them just a little tad. Then we take a handful of cheese and sprinkle that in there. Then we take a few bits of bacon, sprinkle that in there. Then finally, let me just grab my cloth, sorry. Finally, what we do, we take some pepper. No salt, you don't need salt, the bacon is salty enough. Use salt if you haven't used bacon. Take some of the cream, layer of cream. Then you start the process again. More potato around the outside. Make a nice lovely layer of potato in here. Double over if you think you haven't got enough. Push down to make space as well. Nice layer of leeks in there. Again, lovely layer of cheese. Again, lots of bacon. Lots of pepper. And again, some more cream. I'm going to carry on to make sure that this is completely filled up. I'll put this on super speed so that you can see it till the end, and then we're going to be ready to get this dish together. Our Dauphinoise potatoes have been in now for about an hour and a half and they look absolutely lovely. The issue is that they look a little bit anemic on top, and obviously the cream is starting to bubble through and so on. So what we want to make sure that happens here is that they're lovely and creamy and they look beautiful on top. What I tend to do is take some mozzarella cheese and place it in and around the outside of this lovely potato dish. I do this for a couple of reasons. About an hour and a half into the cook, it makes sure that the potatoes on the top don't burn. There's nothing worse than having a lovely creamy Dauphinoise potato and the top layer of potatoes are burnt and you can't really eat them, and that they add a bitter taste to the actual dish themselves. So it protects those a little bit as well, and it also makes sure that when you serve this dish, it adds a little bit of a wow factor, because you you dig in and that cheese starts to pull away from the top of this dish. So we're only about 10 or 15 minutes away now from serving this whole dish. Nice layer of mozzarella cheese on top, good crack of black pepper. Stick this back in the oven now. In about 15 minutes we're going to be ready to serve this up. Okay, so there's 3 components to this dish. I've showed you how to cook pretty much every single one of them apart from our broccoli at the end here, which is just boiled broccoli. This is the Dauphinoise potatoes, which, as you can see, after that mozzarella cheese that's gone on top, is absolutely fantastic. This over here is our mustard chicken, which is sitting on a lovely bed of leeks, cream. It's got that lovely English mustard in there, the whole grain mustard, and the Truckleman's spice mustard. Finally, we're just going to end up here with some veg, part of our 5 a day, some boiled broccoli. First of all, let's get a piece of the chicken up on the plate here. Then we're going to go straight in, get some of this wonderful Dauphinoise potato. Lovely bit of crispy potato and cheese on the top there. Straight on, look at that. Decadent, creamy, cheesy, bacon, everything that's good in a meal. There you go. And then what we're going to do is get the knife in on that chicken. All of that lovely mustard sauce in it. Can you hear that crack of the skin? Superb. Give it a go. It takes about an hour and a half to cook. 2 hours. Absolutely superb. Cheers guys, thank you.